Well, all right, 340 y'all. Hello everyone and welcome back to Before the Four. I'm digital host A.J. Wuest, wishing you all a very happy Tuesday this afternoon. Wherever you're watching Before the Four, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your Tuesday afternoon here. Now today marks the day we are now tied for the longest federal government shutdown in American history, and many here in the Valley are greatly impacted. Sarah Grace Kennedy spoke with one family who's facing hunger since SNAP benefits have been suspended. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
I just tried to hold my head up and, and say, Lord, it's up to you.
Donna Miller of Huntsville depends on her EBT benefits for food every month because she's unable to work due to her health issues. Miller uses her SNAP funds to provide food for her family, while her daughter, Jessica Walkington, works to pay the bills. That was until she had a recent back surgery. On top of that, her husband was just laid off at work. Now she's having to return to work early just to make sure the bills are paid.
When I return back to work, it's going to be a week before I even get a paycheck. So I'm over here stressing like how am I going to feed my mom, my husband, me.
Miller gets just enough in food stamps to provide her family with 2 weeks of food. However, they manage every month to stretch those funds. Walkington tells me that she receives a $500 paycheck every week. But since she has been out of work for 2 weeks, she's behind on all of her bills.
I have actually cut my car insurance, and I know we shouldn't, but I can't do everything with the light bills, the water bill, everything. Go down to like 2 phones, my mom's phone and my phone, and cut my husband's phone off till I can afford everything and get everything situated.
Walkington says right now they're trying to figure out how to get food in the house.
We literally, as of right now, we're down to the very last scarce of everything. I cry at night because I'm sitting here trying to delegate what we're gonna do. My husband lost his job about 3 months ago, and he's been applying, but no one's hiring. So I feel like I'm a failure as a daughter, as a wife, as everything, because I can't get the bills paid right now.
And now in Priceville, where there's a new chief of police. This after the city council voted last night to not reappoint former chief Jerry Holmes and appoint Jason Wigginton instead. Now, Priceville police have been a bit on the hot seat recently, especially after the deadly police chase in Hartselle 2 months ago that left 17-year-old Tristan Hollis dead. Nick Ballinger was at that council meeting last night and has more.
We are a community police department. We're not an interstate crime police department.
The message has been sent by Priceville City Council. The City Council deciding Monday night to part ways with now former police chief Jerry Holmes, who held the role for nearly 4 years.
You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. We've had numerous police accidents and chases, high-speed chases going into the other cities.
This decision comes just 2 months after 17-year-old Tristan Hollis was killed by a driver fleeing Priceville police into Hartselle. The city now a target in a lawsuit from the Hollis family addressing the department's policing tactics. City Councilman Melvin Duran III made the motion to appoint now Chief Jason Wigginton.
We felt like Chief Jason Wigginton was a choice that we needed to get us to the next point of making us a community police department again.
He says the department has garnered attention for patrolling the interstate and enforcing traffic laws as a means to find drugs. When I asked if this was the result of a teen's death,
I don't know if I could say that or not. It's just the direction that we kept us just in the interstate all the time.
The one vote against the decision, Mayor Sam Heflin.
Didn't agree with it, but I will support the new chief. When you're replacing somebody that's been in place for basically 3.5 years, never been reprimanded, never been in trouble, and then that happens, it's kind of shocking.
He tells me he would have preferred other candidates to at least be interviewed. He also supports the drug enforcement on the interstate and says it has been a success for the city.
The car break-ins, the business break-ins, all of those stats have gone down. And unfortunately, the council didn't look at that when they made their decision.
And with that, we're going to head to break, but coming up, a former U.S. vice president passed away last night. We'll have more on that coming up. Today is the last day to vote for our final high school football play of the week. We'll go through all the contenders and finally, a legendary rock band coming to Huntsville in March. We'll go through it all in just 1 minute. All right, well, hello everyone and welcome back to Before the Four. Now earlier today we learned that former Vice President Dick Cheney passed away at the age of 84. Now Cheney, who's commonly known as one of the most powerful vice presidents in history, served as the vice president to George W. Bush. Peter Zampa with more on his life and legacy.
Born in Nebraska, but a son of Wyoming, Richard Cheney left a lasting mark on American governance and especially the vice presidency. Cheney worked in the Ford and Nixon administrations before representing Wyoming in Congress for a decade, then becoming Secretary of Defense under George H.W. Bush. In 2000, George W. Bush asked Cheney to form a search committee for Bush's vice president. Cheney finished the job by picking himself and joining the Republican ticket, which eventually won the White House in a contentious election. As vice president, Dick Cheney wielded more power than perhaps anyone else who held the office. He was instrumental in the United States' response to the September 11th attacks. Cheney claimed both behind the scenes and publicly that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, which was never proven. Cheney also supported enhanced interrogation techniques and domestic intelligence gathering, both of which came under intense public and legal scrutiny. A lifelong hunter, Cheney's aim made news in 2006. During a quail hunt, Vice President Cheney accidentally shot Texas attorney and friend Harry Whittington. Whittington had serious injuries but survived the incident. Cheney was a fierce family man. He broke with his Republican Party on the issue of same-sex marriage, in part due to his openly gay daughter Mary. Dick and older daughter Liz Cheney were among the highest-profile Republican voices to condemn the January 6, 2021 insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Congresswoman Liz Cheney played a key role in the eventual hearings investigating the events on January 6th. In 2024, Cheney said he would not vote for President Donald Trump, again becoming one of the highest-profile Republicans to break from the party. Cheney had heart problems for decades, starting with a heart attack at age 37 while serving in Congress, and later, which included a heart transplant in 2012. Christian Bale depicted his life in the Oscar-nominated film Vice in 2018.
And now let's talk some high school football. Our final week of voting for Play of the Week is, of course, this week. So we're going to run through some of the contenders. Now, of course, this is the last day to get those votes in, as we'll be announcing the winner in tomorrow's evening newscast. So let's go through our final contenders for Play of the Week. Now, we have our website right here. You guys know the drill. You go to WAFF.com. You'll go to this top row. You'll click on sports, and then you'll find this web story marked under sports on our website. But the final week of Play of the Week, and again, this is the last day you can vote. So let's go through these contenders. So the first one, we have the Madison Academy wide receiver makes phenomenal catch over a defender. And let's watch this. Yes. Nice throw, nice catch right there. Madison Academy, the Mustangs. And there is the slowed down version right there. Yeah, you can truly see this is a phenomenal catch, no doubt about it. So that is our first contender right there. Now let's look at our second contender. We have Lincoln County wide receiver makes big play for the Falcons. Now that is up in Lincoln County, Tennessee. Let's watch it. Yes, nice catch, and he is not done. Will he take it to the house? It doesn't look like it, but still a phenomenal play, keeping that drive alive. Absolutely. Lincoln County Falcons, that is our second contender for play of the week. And let's see. So this says West Morgan wide receiver holds onto the ball for a big game. But this is actually an interception thrown by Deschler, and let's watch this play. Deschler throws it up. Morgan County with the interception on the play. So those are our three contenders for play of the week. Last day to get those votes in are today, and to vote, you'll just click right here on this web story and then vote for who you would like to see win play of the week for our final week in high school football. Awesome stuff there, last day to vote. But now let's check this out. Some exciting news for music fans here in the Rocket City. The Von Braun Center earlier today announced a stop for legendary rock band Toto coming up in March. Now, the California-based band will be rocking the Mark C. Smith Concert Hall on Wednesday, March 4th of next year. Tickets are available starting Friday at 10 a.m. Get them while they last. You're just not going to want to miss it. And speaking of things you're just not going to want to miss, let's head into the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. A Huntsville homicide and assault suspect captured in Wisconsin. The latest on the ongoing shutdown, and finally, everything you need to know about elections happening in several states across the U.S. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. And as promised, we have time for not before the four. We definitely have time for before the four, but we also have time for Facebook fun. That is right. And as I said in yesterday's Before the Four, this is our question today. We asked it yesterday on Facebook. Have you started listening to Christmas music yet? Now, some people, Christmas season for them starts as soon as Halloween ends, as soon as it becomes November 1st. You're getting out the tree, you're getting out the Christmas decorations, you're listening to Christmas radio, you're listening to all your Christmas tunes, you got the hot chocolate, the candy canes, all that stuff. But for some of us, and for me especially, I definitely consider Christmas season to officially start after Thanksgiving ends. Maybe Black Friday for me is the first day of the Christmas season. But let's see what you all had to say. Have you started listening to Christmas music? Ronald Dye said, no, 2 turkey drumsticks are blocking my ears. Hearing should be restored on November 28th. Ronald, I agree 100% with that right there. I believe you have to celebrate Thanksgiving, get that holiday, appreciate that holiday, give thanks, and then you can start listening to the Christmas music. That's right. Those turkey drumsticks, they are hard to hear through, let me tell you. Ronald, thank you so much for commenting. Let's see what else y'all said. Dana said yes, and watching Christmas movies. So for Dana, it's Christmas season in full swing. Hey, more power to you, Dana. I feel that 100%. Thank you for commenting. Laura said no, but my tree is up. So you're not listening to Christmas music quite yet, but you have the Christmas tree rocking and rolling. Hey, nothing wrong with that, Laura. Thank you for commenting. Chris said, non-stop Christmas music now playing on the Christmas Star 107.5. So that is good to know. If you want to start listening to some Christmas music, you have a radio, 107.5 is your station. Chris, thank you for commenting, and let's see. Kathy, she said she's been listening to it since September. And that is not even as early as I've seen some of these comments today. Someone said that they started listening to Christmas music in July. Now that is a bit extreme for me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I can listen to Christmas music before at least late November. That is where I draw the line. I'm not listening to it in September, but more power to you, Kathy. That is awesome. Thank you for commenting, and everyone who commented on our Facebook fun question, thank you so much. It always makes my day hearing from you all across the Tennessee Valley. But y'all, that is just about all the time I have for today's Before the Four. But thank you so much for sticking around, spending a bit of your Tuesday afternoon here. I hope you all have a great night tonight. Enjoy tonight's evening newscast. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.